And now it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Royal Polaris, the world's finest long-range sports fisher. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock God Rick Maxa. We're in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here right next to the little rainy San Diego landings in Point Loma. And we have a great show for you today from one of the greatest places on earth, Katmai Lodge. Bob, Charmel, and Rob are here to talk about this amazing place. So you stay tuned. This is Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the mightier 1090 ESPN radio.
The Boat Show is back. The Bart Hall Boat Show at the Fairplex in Pomona, March 1st to the 3rd. We'll highlight Southern California's premium dealers and most of the greatest boat manufacturers in the country, all in one place. Fishing boats, ski and wake boats, family fun boats, very fast boats, very exotic boats, personal watercraft, and some of the most spectacular one-of-a-kind handmade boats ever seen. If it floats and you can put it in or on your car, then it's probably at the show. Marine accessories, wakeboards, marine clothing, kayaks, stand-up paddle boards. We've got it all, including live music. The Bart Hall Boat Show, March 1st through the 3rd at the Fairplex in Pomona. Noon to 7 p.m. Friday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. Kids under 15 are free. All of the boat dealers and all of the boat factories you love, all in one place. Don't miss it. It's the Bart Hall Boat Show. For more information, go to hallshows.com. That's hallshows.com.
Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on the water. FishDope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. They become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Quintin, 365 days a year. FishDope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me, if you don't have FishDope.com, you're not part of the in-the-know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code and save $30 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel. In San Diego, the future belongs to everyone. So Ford engineered the truck of the future for everyone, the Ford F-150, available with a Pro Power onboard generator. What a great addition for anglers. There's also a variety of cab configurations for whatever you need to haul. The truck of the future isn't created for just a few. It's created for us who love the ocean and the outdoor life. Ford F-150. Test drive one at your local San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Today's one of the easiest shows of the year because we get to talk for 2 hours about maybe my favorite place to get to go fishing.
Yeah.
Today's going to be a lot of fun.
Pretty amazing experience. Just the experience itself at Katmai Lodge is one that you'll never forget. I can promise you that. Good morning, Bob and Charmel.
Hey, guys.
Hey, good morning, guys.
And
how you
Rob,
doing?
great to have you. Rob's our support staff here. Yeah. I mean, he's, I don't know how many times Rob's been to Katmai, but I know it's been a lot, right? Yeah, 7 times. All right. A lot. Yeah. Good morning. Hey, so, Katmai Lodge, Bob, how many years have you been going to Katmai Lodge?
Actually,
I
I've
think
been going.
The fun story is the story of how you got to own Katmai.
It's pretty much. It's been a long time. I've been was going out there as a customer for. I had lost count. It's in the close to 30 years.
Yeah.
Going there, so that's quite a bit.
That is quite a bit. Yeah, I remember. My first experience at Katmai was was with Bob Marriott from Bob Marriott's Fly Fishing Store and Marty Milner.
Correct.
And Marty Milner, I had never fly fished before in my life, never been in river fishing in Alaska and stuff like that. And he says, you got to go to this Katmai Lodge place. So I said, okay, I'll try it. And I remember going out there, and it was just like, okay, I'm sold.
Yeah.
It's like, this place is amazing.
And the fishing is still as good as it was 30 years ago because of the actual the toughness, and it's hard to get to type of deal, where you come in and the salmon are running up to. They basically, our river feeds the Katmai National Park, so all the bears that are upstream, it's just a natural river that feeds the actual Katmai National Park, which is one of the biggest parks in the country.
Yeah, and one of the most famous for sure. So you started as a customer, and then how did you become now the owner, general manager, pilot, everything?
That's just I had an airline career, so I flew for the airlines, and then what happened is I was also had a little side construction business, which makes it good for owning a lodge because there's always something breaking, and you have to know whether it's toilets, sinks, electrical. It's a good idea to have a little bit of background of all that.
Sure.
And a couple of the guys in the Orange County area used to go and take me up there because I built their houses for them.
Wow. And then and you just never stopped.
Never stopped.
Yeah. And then so you and your wife own it now, and it's a labor of love, right?
It's a labor of love, and we kind of call us a big family. We have all of us. We got Charmel, we got Laura, we got all the staff there.
Yeah.
They all come back, so obviously we're doing something right.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is another thing to say too, because that's the style of business that is just known to have so much turnover. It just is, and it's not that way. I mean, it's been the same crew for so long, which just doesn't happen in places like a lodge, especially a wilderness area like you guys are in.
We always we have a little bit of guide turnout because unfortunately the guides find girlfriends, and that kills it for us.
You've always said that. It's like the most attractive place in the world to be a guy.
Coming, and then they get a girlfriend.
Single dude, this is the greatest fishery in the whole world, but then you realize you're up there and you're out there.
Right, exactly. And so that's one of the turnovers that we have. But the old timers, and we have a lot of our, a few of them actually are teachers. They're firemen, retired. Those are the guys we really like because they've already had a career, and they're kind of just ending their career as a fishing guide.
Yeah. Which is a pretty spectacular place to be.
Oh, I can't imagine.
And Charmel, you kind of keep everything in order, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that's your job. It's just
she tells me when to come and when to leave.
Yeah. Now, does she let you know when the toilets are broken and all that stuff?
Too?
Yeah. It's like, hey, Bob.
Yeah, especially after coming back on a fly out, and I break this news that one of the buildings is plugged up.
Yeah.
So then I take off the pilot shirt and put on my plumbing outfit.
And that's what's amazing about Bob, and I know you respect that working for him, is this guy is not afraid to get his hands dirty.
Oh yeah, he can do anything.
Yeah, and fix stuff. I mean, you're in there fixing the generator if the backup generator's not working or whatever.
You're never bored.
Yeah.
And the airplane.
Yeah, that's right. And flying the airplane. It's like if somebody's going to do a fly out or you're going up the Brooks Falls, guess who's in the pilot seat?
That's it.
Right?
The number one.
Yeah,
the thing that's just so hard to wrap your mind around until you get to see it is it's just the remoteness of it. Like when something does break, you guys are fixing it. There's no road, there's no hardware store, there's no I'm going to run down to Ace and pick up a pack of this. And
if a fitting gets broke, it's going to cost you about $300 to bring a fitting into town. By the time you get the fuel, fly to town, come back in half a day.
Yeah. And then the other thing too is the access to Katmai. You were talking about it being so remote. That's kind of one of the attractions. One of the amazing things about it is you fly into Anchorage, you overnight in Anchorage, and then you take a chartered flight and land on a gravel one-way that Bob is out there leveling, right, before the plane lands.
Well, we personally, sometimes I'll go out and roll the runway. We call it rolling the runways because what it does is when it rains, you get these little ruts in it. But we have a tractor that's got a big roll on it, which basically screets the whole runway down, and it's pretty smooth. It's really smooth.
A great team to do that for you now.
Exactly.
So.
But you fly how many people on that Ace charter?
16
people, and it's
plus
like
the crew. Right.
And you use every foot of that 5,000-foot runway, right?
Pretty much. Well, it's still 3/4 of it.
3/4 of it.
It's still all legal and stopping limits and everything.
Yeah.
But that's why we have 5,000 foot runway, so we can get in and out real easily.
I had no idea how long that runway was until one day we had to walk the runway to get to the other side because the wind shifted.
The wind shifts, and when the wind shifts, we have to basically pull the airplane back down to the other end instead of having them start it up and get the gravel all thrown up in their tails. So it's easier just to pull it down,
but it was cool
spin around, and then the guests get to walk down the runway.
Yeah, that was what you're not allowed to do.
Work off some of that food that you ate.
Oh, man. That's the amazing thing, too, is the product of the food and everything else that you produce out there. How do you get all that food out there? I mean, it's like unbelievable.
It's a process. It's actually, once you've done it so many years like we have, it's not as hard as it sounds, but we basically have 3 huge two freezers, which is one's a 10 by 10 by 20. You can put a lot of meat in that freezer. And then we have another 10 by 10 by 20 refrigerator, and then we have a fish freezer where all the fish, once you catch the fish, it goes in the fish freezer, which is like a -10, which you throw it in there, and by the next morning it's hard as a rock. And then you just do percentages. We had 100, say just for a number, 100 people. Last time it worked out great. Now we have 120, so you take 20% more of food and you buy 20% more prime ribs.
Wow.
You can bring a lot of it in
pre-season. Pretty much everything's
fresh.
There, frozen wise is there when we start.
And then fresh deliveries come in with guests.
Come in via plane.
With the plane. Every time the plane comes in, I'm looking at all your guys' weights, and I know you lie at it, once in a while. That's always a given.
There's room for some lettuce.
Exactly. So we see, we got 250 pounds we can put on that plane extra, so we buy, 250 pounds of lettuce and mushrooms and milk and butter, stuff like that.
Fresh.
So it comes out fresh.
You guys are true experts at logistics.
Yeah, it is.
Every part of it.
And that's the construction part of it helped me.
I'll bet.
Because I know that I need nails, and I know I need a fitting, so many 90 fittings, so many couplings, and those are the things that you need to know and have there, when something does break, because it will break.
What's so fun about hearing this story is it's the background, because when you get there, it's perfect. You know what I mean? And you just don't see how it could possibly be that way. You're so far up and so far out, and everything runs perfect. And you get there and the food is amazing, and your rooms are amazing, and there's nice linens, and it's just everything works so perfect that you can't fathom the amount of background that's happening behind the scenes. It's really cool to get to hear it, because when you get there, you're this amazing lodge experience, but you're in the middle of the tundra. It's crazy.
The only thing we can't control is the weather.
Yeah, that unfortunately happens once in a while.
It's Alaska.
It's Alaska. It's going to change.
If you don't like the weather, wait a minute.
So we're a hotel, we're an airport, we're a restaurant, we're a water treatment plant, a sewage treatment plant, and a dump.
A bar.
And a bar.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You can control that when it's crummy. You can go out and have a cocktail and play a game of cribbage and not worry about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, or just put your rain jacket on and get out and
that's a good point too.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, which is part of the deal.
The fish actually it's better when it's a little bit rainy and drizzly for fishing. Overcast skies are great for fishing.
Think about gasoline for all the outboard powered boats. Think about the jet fuel for your plane.
Right.
I mean, the diesel fuel for running the generators and all the other stuff. I mean, how do you get all that up there?
Well, the planes, we have a service that's Alaska Air Fuels, and they have a big 4-engine plane, and it carries about 3,400 gallons at a whack, and we have a fuel storage for 22,000 gallons. So we'll bring at least 4 trips, maybe 5, before clients even show up. And basically, he lands and just plugs his hose into our system, and we pumps it to where it needs to go.
There again, your runway is such a huge deal. I mean, we talked about that you have a 5,000, but that's where you are. That's a huge deal.
Yes,
and I'm sure plenty of places have a little dirt strip where you could
some
you can
don't
land
at
a little
all.
cub or something on it, but you have a
the runway in a national park, so you got to remember that too. That's pretty very unique to have a national park and you're an airport there.
Oh yeah. When we used to go to Katmai 30 years ago, it was owned by a guy named Tony Sarp.
Tony
right?
Sarp, yep.
And they used to take 65, 70 people at a time, right?
Right.
And so there was a lot of accommodations there.
There's a lot of accommodations, but we don't run it that thick.
No, I was going to say, now you run it 30, 35.
At the most 35 a week.
And it's so comfortable.
Right.
I mean,
everybody gets their own rooms, their beds. So it's pretty, you can spread out. You can have big groups, small groups, couples.
Yeah.
We have the accommodation for everybody.
Yeah.
And singles, too.
Yeah. So think about that. In a place that used to house twice as many people, now you have the same infrastructure housing half the number of people. It's
manageable.
It's so pleasurable to be there.
Right.
Like having your own room.
And then everybody gets a better service. I mean, you definitely can see that where if you have 60 people there, they're gonna walk right by you. But now we have a chance to sit down and talk with you.
Yeah.
And get your one-on-one time. And I think that's important when someone's on a trip, spending that kind of money.
Oh, for sure.
Clientele has changed as well. I think 30 years ago it was a lot of diehard fishermen who just wanted to get out there and they just need a roof over their head.
Yep.
Now we cater to more to families and children, and it's a lot more comfortable, and you're not packed in there like sardines.
No. Speaking of which, one of the big things that you've been highlighting lately is the wildlife trips, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so tell us about that. So this is an option for a little bit of fishing and a little bit of wildlife viewing that would basically appeal to everybody.
Yeah, well, what we've been doing is obviously if you have a 7-day trip, that's fine. Someone's going to be there 7 days. But a lot of fishermen want to just come up for the 4-day trip, and you have 3 days left over. So we've added this wildlife trip where you can come in, and it's really been real popular with the wives and the guys that want to go fishing, because you still get a day of fishing, plus you get to go to the park and spend the day at the park, see the bears, and it gets a lot of guys their free kitchen pass to make a fishing trip and bring their wives with us.
Yeah.
Which is real important, nowadays. And we're getting more and more couples that will do that will actually come up with 4 of them, and the wives go to the park and the guys fish.
Yes.
Very, very, very good.
But the park's a pretty cool experience too. You fly them out there on the float plane, which is is a 12-seat otter?
No, it's an 11-seat, but actually 10.
10 seat,
11 with me in there. So what we'll do is we'll take off in the morning. Usually, you go have breakfast, you get up in the morning, have your breakfast, we'll meet out at the airplane about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and we'll jump in and we'll fly off the dirt runway going, but once you're in the park, you have to land on the water, on the lake.
Beautiful.
And it's an absolute spectacular flight. And landing on the water, if you've never done that, it's spectacular. You taxi up into the beach, and we jump out. Usually we'll have a guide with us, and he'll help me spin the plane around. We'll put it on the beach, and there's not uncommon you'll start seeing bears right there on the beach.
Oh, yeah.
It's very common that you'll see that. And then once you get into the park, it's all run by the Park Service. So you'll go up and do a little tour of the park ranger will be there, gives you your speech on how to handle bears, what they expect from you, where to go, where not to go, and then you basically have a nice day at the park, and you walk up to the spectacular bridge where everybody's seen it. If you watch National Geographic, you've seen the bears, standing there catching fish, on top of the falls, and you're really right there. You're watching it. They have
like 2 to 5 feet away from the bears.
They're walking underneath you. You're elevated. It's an elevated platform, but you're actually 10 yards, 15 yards,
it's pretty close,
from the actual falls where you jump. And I'm sure everybody's seen those pictures. And if you don't, come by the actual booth and you'll see it. And
which every cover shot comes from that place.
Exactly.
Which you guys will be at the PCS show this coming Thursday through Sunday in Orange County. Yeah, you're going to have your booth. And
from then,
sign up.
Then what happens is then you come back and have lunch. We have a lunch. There's a picnic area where they put us in, which is electrified fence. So obviously the bears come up to it, and you have your lunch, spend the actual afternoon in the park, and then in the evening we head back. Roughly about 5:30, 6 o'clock, so we can hit happy hour, and then have dinner and do it again the next day.
Yeah, the next day is actually a day of fishing.
Right.
Yes. Exactly. So the wildlife package itself includes the fly out to Brooks Falls. Falls. That's one day, an adventure day on the river, and a day of fishing. So it's kind of a little combo deal where if you're not looking for a full fishing trip but the wife wants to come, it's a perfect little match.
Yeah, and so I might say that when you're out fishing on the river, as Ricky and I have experienced, you see a lot of bears on the river too.
Absolutely.
You see eagles,
wildlife
you see moose,
in general.
you see
That's the thing that
otters. What else? I mean, geez.
You talk about going to Alaska and the amount of wildlife that lives in that state, and most of the places you go fishing, you might see a bear, and you will for sure see some wildlife. That's what's so cool about Alaska. Katmai is completely different. The density of amount of animals and wilderness and wildlife that lives there is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
We didn't do a bear viewing trip, and we saw one day we went up to the north and fished in the braids to fish trout, and we saw 17 different bears in one day, and we saw like that picturesque like postcard big bull moose that was in the river with the moss on its on its rack, and foxes are on the bank, and it's incredible.
While you're catching fish.
While on a fishing trip.
Yeah.
It was while we were driving to where we were going. And then we went grayling fishing that day. We crushed them. It's the coolest place. You just can't imagine how much cool stuff there is to see. Your head is on a swivel the entire time. You're never not taking a picture. It's spectacular.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so special.
As you can hear, I have a lot to talk about. We haven't even ventured into the fishing, right?
Yeah.
And we've been talking for 20 minutes about this amazing place, Katmai Lodge in Alaska.
It's going to be a lot of fun, man. Well, we would love to hear from you this morning. If you want to give us a call, we'd love to hear from you. 213-432-1090. That's our number. 213-432-1090. Is how you reach us on the phones here on Let's Talk Hookup, or send us a text. Man, the text the show has become so popular here on Let's Talk Hookup, and we're looking forward to reading those texts. If you want to send a text into the show, that's only available through the Let's Talk Hookup app. It's a free download, no spam, no BS. It's how you text the show, and you can hear all of the great archive shows. If some hot tip from Bob or Charmel or Rob comes through and you want to revisit, you're going to get to do that by texting or by listening to all the archives. If you missed a show driving home from work, it's a great way to catch up on Let's Talk Hookup. And again, all of that's available through the Let's Talk Hookup app. And when you do text in your question today, make sure that you include your contact info, just a name and a phone number, so that if you win the big prize at the end of today's show, we're able to get a hold of you, because what a killer prize we are giving away today. One lucky caller or texter, and the way that's going to work is we're going to flip a coin at the end of the show. We'll have one potential caller winner, we'll have one potential texter winner. Charmel's going to flip the coin, and that's going to designate whether the winner comes from the caller side or the texter side, and they're going to get to go on an overnight open party trip at a Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. So how this works is you're going to get a certificate, and it's good for absolutely any boat that's running an open party overnight trip at a Fisherman's Landing. Whatever boat that might be that has space, that's running overnight, you're going.
Yeah.
Non-charter, just open party, standard trip. You pick it, you're going. And you've mentioned before, and I know Carl's pretty good at it, if you sweet talk Carl and maybe see if you can pay to upgrade to a day and a half.
Yeah.
He's pretty good about doing that for you too. But again, open party, overnight, any boat at a Fisherman's Landing. What a rad prize that is.
And I might mention too,
or texter.
A caller or texter. We get a lot of text. And we get a lot of calls too. But your chances of winning that overnight trip way better if you're a caller.
Percentage-wise, probably over double.
At least.
No doubt about it. And again, if you want to get through on the phones, that's 213-432-1090. When we come back, we're going to be taking those phone calls, reading those texts. Lots of great stuff coming up your way. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. This is Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Countdown to spring with exhilarating deals on new Yamaha outboards during Yamaha's Power and Performance Sales Event from now until March 31st, 2024. Purchase a new eligible Yamaha 450 to 30 horsepower outboard and get up to 7 years of warranty protection and a Siren 3 Pro package to your purchase of a 115 horsepower and up, and receive a bonus $1,000 in dealer credit and half off your Siren subscription. Looking for lower horsepower? Yamaha Yamaha's got you covered. Purchase a new Yamaha 25 to 2.5 horsepower outboard and receive up to $2,000 in dealer credit. Reliability starts here. Offer ends March 31st, 2024. Subject to change. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Select models excluded. 24-month Yamaha extended service added. A 36 or 60-month factory limited warranty. Choice offered to Florida residents is a 24-month Yamaha limited warranty. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealers for details. Cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
The PCS show is coming, and we will have an awesome display at the show. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle. Check us out in the wildly popular saltwater building at the PCS show at the OC Fairgrounds in Costa Mesa, where we will feature the Shimano lineup of rods, reels, and lures, like Talica reels, Terramar rods, and the Hot Current Sniper lures. And as always, our expert staff will help you select that perfect Shimano setup for the fish you want to pursue. For saltwater tackle at the PCS show, your best shop is the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth. The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet. Fisherman's Landing offers half-day trips on the Dolphin and full-day trips on the Liberty. Many trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Hey everyone, James Holst here with Norsk Lithium, the official battery partner of Let's Talk Hookup. Here at Norsk Lithium, we have 2 goals that drive who we are and what we do. The first is to make the highest quality, longest lasting lithium batteries available with a complete lineup of batteries that include 12, 24, 36 volt, and starting batteries. Second, in addition to offering a 10-year warranty on all Norsk Lithium marine batteries, we provide amazing customer service before and after the sale. Check us out online at norsklithium.com. That's NORSK lithium.com, or call us at 831-232-9063. Or to see Norsk Lithium batteries in person, stop by the Trolling Motor Doctor in Lakewood or Anglers Marine in Anaheim and see why Norsk Lithium batteries should be in your boat.
No matter where the adventure takes you, we've got you powered. Norsk Lithium.
Hey, this is Rosie with Cedros Sport Fishing. We have always been the leader with all-inclusive fishing trips to Cedros Island. We now have 2 lodges to choose from, and both sit on the cliff's edge with relaxing ocean views and gorgeous morning sunrises. With direct flights departing to the CBX in San Diego, we are committed to providing first-class service to our guests and an unforgettable fishing experience. Come check out the yellowtail and calico bass capital in the world. Nobody does it better than Cedros Sport Fishing. Call me at 619-772-7570 or check us out at cedrosportfishing.com. Book soon. Trips are going fast.
I can't wait to spend some quality time with my son fishing this year, teaching him about casting, how to choose bait, set the hook, and how to be safe on the water by always wearing a life jacket. Save the ones you love. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Boy, no surprise there. What a great place we're talking about, how fast those phone lines filled up. Lots of great texts coming through. There's one line left still open if you want it, and that's 213-432-1090.
All right, let's jump into the phones, Rick.
You got it. How do we start this morning with Gerald? He's calling us from Rancho Cucamonga. Good morning, Gerald. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning. I got to tell you guys, I really don't fish. I don't even like fishing. I don't even like being out in the ocean. I have nothing to do with fish. But your show intrigues me so much. The way you guys are so passionate about what you do, and you're so cheerful and positive, I cannot help but listen to your show. I don't even understand it. I enjoy you guys so much. And I got to tell you, at what you do, you got to be the best at what you do, because, like I said, I don't fish. You know, I don't even own a fishing pole. I don't have a desire to fish, but when I hear you guys talk, you guys in my mind drag me out there with you, and I just have a great time hearing what you do and hearing your excitement. I just want to say I appreciate you guys so much, and I just wish, pray long life for you guys and healthy families. You guys are amazing. Have a blessed day. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you very much. That's cool. Yeah, that's really nice. And I got to tell you, if you don't fish, you need to go to Katmai.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because
you called it the right day.
It's the type of trip where if you're a non-fisherman, I mean, how many people, Bob, come to Katmai Lodge that say, I don't really fish, but I just wanted to get the experience, and then they leave like, wow, this is one of the greatest things in my life. And
so maybe 20%. Yeah.
20. I have a great story about that. I remember one year we brought a bunch of couples on our Let's Talk Hookup trip one year. I forget, it was maybe 10 years ago or something like that. And we did a little pre-trip. We went up to Denali National Park and went on the Alaska Railroad, and it was great. We were trying to put together kind of a package so that everybody would enjoy it. The number of non-fishing, especially ladies, and even non-fishing guys that were on this group, it was like, I can't believe I actually talked these people into coming, right? So they came, and one of the ladies that I was fully suspect that was going to just say, this is the worst experience of my life, came up to me after the trip and said, I got to tell you, this is the best experience I've ever had on a trip in my life. I mean, and
it's not just a fishing trip; it's an adventure. Totally. People that everybody lives around here in the San Diego area, LA area. It's all hustle and bustle. There, you get out there and it's nature. And nobody's ever been on an airplane that lands on the dirt runway. You always go into LAX or San Diego.
Right.
And nobody sits there and flies and lands on the water. You know, and then having a bear walk, within 15, 20 feet of you. That is, it's a grizzly bear. It's not just a baby black bear. These are the big boys. And doesn't care that you're there.
They don't mess with you.
They don't mess with you because there's so much fish there for them to eat.
The other cool thing to me is standing in that river and having thousands of fish running at your footsteps, in between your feet, everything, just looking at all these migrating salmon going up the river, and it's a wow experience.
The other thing too that I really dug when I went up there is I'm not a fly fisherman at heart. I love fishing. I love all kinds of it, and I've gotten more accustomed to and like fly fishing as we go on farther and farther. But that, so many places in Alaska are just that, and that's not the case. So you could fish a spinning or a conventional rod the whole trip and have a blast. And then the flip side of that, when I got up there, the guides work with you so good, and somebody who was a pretty darn novice, myself and my wife, neither of us were expert fly casters. I mean, we were beyond novice, and it's not a difficult thing to learn, and the guides are so one-on-one, and it's you become it just becomes part of it. Like I didn't go up there for fly fishing, and it became my favorite part of the trip.
We get a lot of people that come up to the shows, and I'd say at least half that will say, you just fly fish there? I'm going, no, we have both gear there. We half of our clients fish gear and never pick up a fly rod, and it's like, you don't have to, whatever you like. We have both of them there. We have fly gear there, and we have regular, conventional gear there.
And let me tell you, being a tackle snob, worked in a tackle store my entire life, the conventional fishing tackle that you guys have is so nice.
Oh, yeah.
It's Loomis, it's Shimano. It's so good.
I will say this, too. I love fly fishing. I do it whenever I can. 50% of the time when we go in July, which is king season as well as sockeye season, I have a spin rod in my hand. Catching giant kings on a light tackle spin rod is about as exciting as it gets, just plunking for those things. So, even myself as what I would consider, I'm a fly guy, I spend 50% of the time with a spinning rod in my hand because that's the best way to target those big kings.
Don't let yourself be talked out of it because you're a conventional saltwater fisherman. It's the coolest experience you're going to do.
Yeah, we'll hear from Harold Davis later on, who's as hardcore as hardcore gets in saltwater.
No doubt about
that. He'll
let
you know that.
First one in, last one out.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I have a great text here from Dave in San Diego, and he says, interesting. So as always, I fished Alaska Seward, and I booked a pretty bad weather day, which made fishing for halibut miserable, but much more fun. We caught silver salmon in the bay. Can you talk about what alternatives you have to changing when the weather changes?
Well,
it's a very good question.
That's the beauty of our river, in our environment that we're in, is you can go fishing all the time.
Exactly.
You don't. It's a river. It's not like you're going out in the ocean, and there's always some run happening. Usually when obviously our season, that's why we're there. Between July and August, we'll always have something for you to fish for. And so if the weather's bad, obviously we won't do a fly out, and we'll wait till the next day for the fly out, but we could also just run up our river, and there's always grayling there, there's always trout there. The silver fishing is phenomenal, coming in late August. So basically the second week of August all the way till September is wide open silver fishing. And if you've ever caught a silver, it's basically a salmon fish on steroids.
Yeah.
It is they're aggressive, they attack the baits. It's all gear fishing and fly fishing. You catch them on both. It depends on what you want to do. And you catch it, but it's really fun to catch them on a fly line, because once we call them the knuckle busters. As soon as it hooks on, it's spinning fast, and you're getting your knuckles beat up by the fly rod.
Yeah. You wake up in Sitka, and the wind's blowing 30 knots, and it's pouring rain sideways.
Miserable.
It's not going to be a fun day.
No.
You wake up at Katmai, and the wind's blowing 30 knots, and it's raining sideways. You're going fishing.
You're still going fishing, because there's going to be a cove that we're going to be able to put you in,
exactly.
or a bluff that we can put you on, and it's not that bad, actually, at all.
No,
when you're sitting in there.
And as in Alaska, where the weather changes every minute, in another hour it could be clear and sunny.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
you always have your rain gear with you when you go out in the morning.
And it's your day. You can come in early. You can leave.
Yeah,
it's not
like a boat that's going out with a party boat where there's a couple other anglers on there, and they're diehard guys, and you're kind of getting seasick, and you don't want to be out there, and you want to go back. And at the lodge, you just say, "Hey, let's go back. I want to go."
Your own guide.
You're going to have your own guide, and he's going to bring you back, and let's have lunch at the lodge instead of on the, because it's raining right now.
We'll dry out for a little bit. We'll hang out.
We'll dry out, warm up at by the fire, because we always usually have a fire going in the main lodge. Warm up a little bit, and then guess what? The sun comes out about 2 o'clock. You go back out again.
Yeah.
It's your day.
Yes, for sure.
And that was the other thing that I loved so much about the program is when you say it's your day, like we were given the option every day, like, okay, what do we want to fish for today? Right. Every single day we did something completely different.
Yeah,
There's so much fish
catch,
in that river.
You'll catch so many sockeye during the time frame, especially the Let's Talk Hookup group coming out, that you'll say, I'm tired of catching these things. That I've 50 today I'm done.
Yeah.
Let's go a little bit. Let's go do some trout fishing right now. It's a little bit tougher. I mean, it's not like you're going to yank every trout out of the river, but they're there. But they're big ones there, and they're there.
Yeah.
And so, and then you catch a few trout and say, let's go on the way back. Let's go hook up a few more sockeye before we call it a day.
Totally.
A lot of different options for sure. Yeah. Let's jump back on the phones, Rick.
You got it. How about this time we talked to John? He's calling us from Escondido this morning. Hey, John, welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. One question for Pete. What's your favorite salmon to catch and eat? And then, is everything all inclusive? And is there a limit to the type of fish that you can catch? And are there some fish that you have to catch and release?
All right. My favorite salmon to catch is a king salmon, and probably to eat too. But I've caught king salmon in the saltwater a lot. But catching a king salmon in the Alagnak River at Katmai Lodge is like tenfold over catching one in saltwater. I can tell you that for a fact.
It's an angling challenge, and you succeeded in something when you finished it.
And they're big.
You catch one in saltwater. It's very cool fish, and they're chrome and they're awesome. But it's kind of turning the handle until you get the fish. But like you get an 8-foot spinning rod and a 2500 size spinning reel and a small plug, and you hook one of those things in the river. Like you achieved something when you landed that fish.
For sure. By the way, speaking of eating king salmon, I'll put a little plug for my good buddy John in here. We had fresh Alaskan king salmon last night from Point Loma Seafoods. Ooh. They have it right now. They had it yesterday.
They had it yesterday.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It might be there today, but
how cool!
It was delicious. Yeah, that Winter King is so fatty too. Yeah, it's delicious.
The trip is all inclusive. It does include it's fully guided. Includes your gear, meals, beer and wine, any licensing, packaging of your fish, your gear. Did I already say gear? Anything you could possibly need will be provided to you at the lodge. You just need, a couple personal items and your clothing, and that is it.
Waiters, boots.
Correct.
Everybody's taking care of all that.
The only thing outside of that would be your round-trip airfare from Anchorage to the lodge and any gratuities, but of course that's at your discretion.
But once you get there,
it's I always take away. It's the Club Med of fishing. You just show up. You just show up with some clothes, and that's all you need. We take care of the rest. We send you home with the limits. The question was how many limits we were. Well, in sockeye, when the sockeye season open up, it starts at 5 a day to keep, and then within a week they bump it up to 10 as soon as they get their escapement. That you can keep. We send home. Everybody gets to bring home 50 pounds of fillet. So that's about 25 to 30 fish, filleted.
And this is, depending on the season, but when we go, it's sockeye.
Sockeye,
which is like the premium.
It's the premium of all of them. It's the reddest. It's the one you see always in the stores. I mean, in the restaurants. It's so red and bright, red meat, and it tastes really good.
Oh, yeah.
And the trout species is catch and release.
Yes, trout is all catch and release because we are in a national park.
Yeah, but the trout are giant. Yeah.
And all of the salmon are available in your river?
Yep, we have all five species.
Which is another big deal.
It's another big deal. Most rivers don't have that, but we do.
Not all at the same time, of course.
Right.
Sure.
And
the last thing, too, John, is just the volume of fish that swim up that river will absolutely blow your mind. It's great. And the sockeyes, you can see them coming in waves, depending on tide and time of day and condition. And just when we were up there, we were getting daily updates, we were getting of just, because there was fish counters that were talking about this amount of, and like the volume of fish that moves through is incredible.
Last year, the year before, was Bristol Bay had 78 million fish that were caught in the bay, right? And then our escapement was like 1.4 million, which averages about 78,000 fish a day go by the lodge.
Wow.
So you can
think about that,
just think about that. You're going to catch a fish.
Yeah, they're biting.
They're biting. If you have 78,000 a day going by the lodge. That's
this is sockeye.
Just the sockeye. And then obviously you have the kings and the chums and the pinks on top of that going by the lodge.
Yeah.
Incredible. That they don't even count. They don't even count those fish.
What's your favorite, Rob?
I like the silvers.
The silvers.
Silver is unbelievable.
Oh,
so fun.
On fly rod or conventional spinning?
Spinning. Fly rod's fun too.
Yeah.
The thing, they get aerial and they're so aggressive.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of fun.
Yeah, and they're good eating.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Sure.
I feel so out. Like my two most favorite things were like the fish that would be on like the bottom of any elitist person's trip. I liked fishing for the chums.
Oh yeah.
They pull.
Yeah, they pull
so hard.
They
pull so hard
and aggressive.
They bite like a freight train, and they rip drag off of your reel, and they are so much fun, and they're so cool looking when they're in the river, and they get that mottled colors, and we had so much fun fishing those. And then the other thing is something that I don't understand why people just scoff at was grailing fishing.
Oh, so much fun.
It's the coolest.
Yeah.
They're super aggressive. They give you like the trout fishing for sure. Like Bob, you said it best. Is everything has to line up, and you got to make a great cast, and you earn them. Like you angle for them, and so every one you get means something, which is really cool. Grayling are extremely user friendly. They bite dry flies, and if you make a cast and you missed your hook set, if you fire back in there, they're probably going to give you another shot. And if you missed that one, they're probably going to give you another shot again. And again, so cool looking. It's just I love it. I love the place. I can't say enough
especially like everybody's talking about the salmon. Some of the salmon, they get a bad name. They like the chums. They call them dog salmon. You caught a dog salmon. They're great eating. Oh. They're good eating fish. And if you blindfold most people, they won't know the difference what they're eating. But they get that bad name because the natives used to feed them to their dogs, their sled dogs, because it has the most oil in it. But if you're smoking the fish,
that's what you want, right?
That's what you want. You want a little oil in there so when you have your smoked salmon, it's still nice and moist when you have it. It's not just like a piece of leather getting it.
I'll tell you one thing. All I know is you hook one of those things, it's like hooking a yellow on spinning tackle in a river, and you are in for a fight, and it's really, really fun.
Plus the current with you, too.
Oh, don't kid.
Get it caught in the current, and then you're really going to have a fight.
That's pretty fun. Hey, when we come back, we got a whole lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls, catch reports. We're going to check in with Harold Davis. I'm sure he's got a little something to say about Katmai. And a whole lot more. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Gas prices are going up, up, up. So now more than ever, you need Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena. Pull up to the newly expanded Summit Gasoline and get low gas and diesel prices for your car, truck, and boat. They can now accommodate 24 cars and trucks to fuel at the same time, plus 12 diesel boats, plus 100 pounds of free ice with a minimum 35-gallon fill-up. Easy in and out, too. Step into the Summit Bistro and enjoy what Martha and her crew have for you on things you can use. Fresh-made burritos, sandwiches, and salads, along with beer, beverages, and, of course, always free ice. So many Let's Talk Hookup listeners have taken advantage of Summit Gasoline's low prices, great service, and free ice. They have become the largest seller of fresh gourmet ice in Southern California. Summit also sells frozen bait and fishing licenses 24 hours a day. Summit Gasoline. For prices, friendly staff, free ice, and easy in and out with your boat and trailer at the San Diego Sports Arena.
Hey, it's time to talk about great gear from Shimano. You know, we were talking about all that great G. Loomis and Shimano gear at Katmai Lodge, and they have it because it works and it doesn't break.
It's the best. Yeah, they have it because it's the best, and that's what Katmai is.
Yeah, for sure. Now, coming up next week at the PCS show, Thursday through Sunday in Orange County, Shimano's going to have a giant booth there, and one of the big key features is they're flying out Benny Ortiz, one of the jigging experts that they have on their staff.
Yeah, it'll be really exciting to have him out here talking all things about it, doing seminars, and then they have a lot of cool jigging gear, the Osea line of jigging reels and the Shimano grappler rods that were specifically made for it, and very, very parabolic but like high recoiling tapers or rods that move the jigs for you. All of those will be on sale at the PCS show. And then obviously the other thing,
Power Pro.
The huge draw, as always, you buy a Talica, you buy a Trinidad, you buy any major Shimano reel, free Spectra, free Power Pro being wound on your reels while you wait at the show. At the
Shimano booth. Yeah. So and it's not just Spectra, it's Power Pro.
Exactly.
The finest. Yeah. So check it out at the PCS show, the Shimano booth, and all the great deals on Shimano gear.
Everyone has their go-to fishing spot. My spot is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. Rock Cod Rick here to say if you're looking for the ultimate Alaska experience and the best value in Alaska, it's Kingfisher Charters. Owner Seth Bone and his crew consistently deliver deluxe accommodations, the finest food, world-class fish processing, and top-of-the-line fishing experience. We've literally sent hundreds of our listeners to Kingfisher, and they all can't wait to go back. Most Alaska resorts make big promises, and they don't deliver, or they'll nickel and dime you to drive up the cost, but not Kingfisher. Everything is included. Your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, your gear. Literally all you need to bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. They also have the finest boats and charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. Take it from me, book your trip to Kingfisher Charters and you'll thank me. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136, or check kingfishercharters.com.
Hi, this is Dwayne Diego from Pinnacle Sport Fishing, and I love my Costa Del Mar sunglasses. You cannot beat the 580G lenses and the killer frames that they come with. The 580G lenses are by far the most clear and durable, scratch-resistant lenses I've ever used. And I'm far from easy on my equipment. We use it day in and day out, and having that scratch resistance that they have is a game changer for us. I rely on my Costa Del Mars every day. They take care of my eyes and help see what's out there. For more information, you can check out costasunglasses.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning, talking fishing, talking Katmai Lodge. What a great show.
Yeah, what a great. Phones are packed, lots of texts. We're going to get to those. But, a guy who loves fishing at Katmai, and he heard us talking about chums, and look who's here. Harold Davis. What's up, Harold?
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is the worst part of the year, sitting here in the house, watching it rain, and knowing I got 5 months to wait before I get up there.
Before you get to go to Katmai.
Good morning, Harold.
Good morning, Bob. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
You guys have covered an awful lot of those topics that I would hit on. something that the people might not realize if they've never done this type of fishing. This isn't the type of fishing where you have to run for an hour to go fish.
Right.
It isn't one of those things where you're going to get up early in the morning and you might as well bring a thermos of coffee before you put your first line in the water. When you leave the lodge, you could be less than a half a mile away standing on a point catching fish as they come by. And you can go right back to that spot anytime you want or not move all day long because it reloads. It isn't like we're rock cod fishing, well, they're not biting on this spot anymore because the fish are coming up the river to you. You can keep catching them. So go back to the lodge for lunch, or if you want to go take a siesta or whatever the case may be, it's great. And if not, if you go all different places because there's different types of fish to catch, and you want lunch, they cook it right there on the boat. You can either have salmon or hamburgers or whatever you want. It's just really, really made for a person that wants to spend some time in the outdoors.
You're a saltwater guy, Harold, and you cater to saltwater guys, but that's the thing we need to get across to people that saying, well, I don't do freshwater fishing. It's made for saltwater guys, right?
Yeah, and if you want to catch yellowtail, go catch a chum.
Yeah, exactly. It's the truth.
They will rip your arms off. And if you go, and Pete, you touched on it, you catch a salmon in the ocean that kind of flops around. God didn't make those things with a 5-inch wide tail that just do nothing. When they turn sideways to that current, you might have hooked him at Katmai, but you're going to land him in Bristol Bay.
That's the truth. Yeah.
You become an open field runner going down the bank going, I think I'm on because I'm running out of line. Those are just exciting moments.
Yeah. Well,
and the wildlife, it'll scare you sometimes. You'll be just barely idling down a river, standing up looking to see if you can see the sockeye coming up, and all of a sudden there's a great big crash next to the boat and some beaver has come up letting you know you got to get out of here. There is a bunch of those.
Yeah, and those Alagnac beavers are big.
Yeah, it's really big.
Yeah.
Oh, they're giant. I thought one was a bear cub. And Bob says, oh, no, they'll get 100 pounds, 90 pounds. And I go, no kidding. I mean, we've seen beavers 25 and 30 pounds here, but those are giant.
Yeah, that's big. Everything is just a lot bigger up there in Alaska for sure. Well, Harold, I know it's people just like you. Your descriptions just bring people to Katmai, and you've brought a lot of people, and they keep coming back, right?
Yeah. Well, like last year, Pete goes, come here. So we walk up the staircase to his room. Right there on the tree, right next to his room, it couldn't have been 20 foot out there, was the falcons.
Yes.
The peregrine falcons.
Yeah.
There was 5 baby peregrine falcons in that tree.
Yep.
And the mom and dad were bringing moles or mice like every 5 minutes. And they were harping them down.
Yeah, that was literally like 10 feet away from the balcony of the room that I was staying in.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We also get the eagles and the osprey that always hang out around the lodge.
Oh, yeah.
Watching them dive on the fish.
Or you got the porcupines.
Yeah, the porcupines.
Yeah. He'll come down and greet you.
and an occasional bear. Well, I remember, what was it, a couple years ago, we were sitting in the lodge having appetizers, and here comes a brown bear kind of snooping around right
in the window.
Right in the window. It's like, hey, you have any appetizers for me?
Yeah, there was the new flight coming in, and we were supposed to be out on the airport, but I had come back to the lodge to use the bathroom before we left, and a bear was walking down, and this gal turns around and goes, that's a bear. I said, yeah, he's on his way to his room. He'll be okay.
The other thing, Harold, you mentioned, how close the proximity is to fishing. The other thing, which I'm sure was not done by accident, is the lodge is in such a perfect location that you might be going up the river, you might be going down the river, like whichever direction you turn, left or right, there's really good fishing to be had, both directions, both times, and a left turn versus a right turn can be a completely different day and a completely different experience. I mean, you wouldn't know you were even in the same place sometimes, the style of fishing that you do there.
It's a whole different world. You're going to go from run along with water that you can't cross to water that you just walk across barely ankle deep. Those braids are magnificent.
Yeah.
And you would think, there's not, what's going to be in here? Oh boy. you drag those flies across there and you'll get ripped up. And occasionally, haven't caught one yet, only seen a couple, but there's pike in there. And I've been laying for those things, but I just can't get one to go.
This year, Harold.
Nice pike. Oh, boy. I'm standing up, and the guys are going, what are you looking for? I'm looking for the big guy. He's in here.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Harold Davis, appreciate all that you do for Katmai, and you're like a great flag waver for that place because you know how great it is.
Absolutely. Thanks, Harold.
Yeah. Thanks for the call this morning. Appreciate it. All right. Well,
okay,
hey, phones are packed. Let's jump back into it, Rick.
You got it. How about this time we talk to Alex? Alex is calling us from San Carlos this morning. What's up, Alex? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, guys. I just had a question about the trip. Are you guys able to split it, like between fishing and like wildlife viewing, photography, and all that kind of stuff, or is it going to be just one or the other?
Yes, everything is completely customizable. We can work with you on what it is you want to do and make it happen.
If that was a passion of yours, photography, this is it, man.
This is a good spot.
Yeah, this is it. And and to dedicate a day to it, like Pete had mentioned, you're going to see the most incredible stuff just on your day of fishing. But if you wanted to dedicate your day just to it, dude, it's
just hanging out.
Bring your camera with you when you're fishing.
It's the one.
It's the beauty of having your own guide.
Yeah. You can stop. All of a sudden, you're fishing, and then so you come across a bear and a bear cub. You're no longer fishing right now. You just grab your camera, and you can sit there for half an hour, 2 hours, or watch this bear cub and the mom fishing, and you're not fishing. And then as soon as they're gone, you start fishing again. So that's why it's so custom.
Or whatever wildlife. The beavers, the moose,
bear,
the eagles,
anything like that. Or you want to just completely go bear viewing, then we'd throw you in the plane and we take you over to the park, and that's all you're doing is photography. And you can say, hey, I don't want to fish today. It's a beautiful day. I want to go to the park. All right, let's go to the park.
You don't have to do the wildlife trip to get to Brooks Falls. Right. It is an additional fly out, and some of our flyouts, fishing flyouts, actually have a lot of wildlife, tons of bears, but they're just right in front.
We've had customers come out 7 day, just diehard fishermen, and on Wednesday the wildlife group gets back, and we have this big screen TV. We put up all the posters and pictures of what's happening during the day, and they go, wow, that is cool. Can we do that tomorrow? Sure, we've signed up. We can take you out there tomorrow. So now they were just totally fishermen, and now they want to go to the park.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
All the time.
The other thing too is if you come during the trophy trout season, which is August, right?
It's August.
And you do flyouts to some of the most famous remote rivers in the world, the Moraine, the American,
the Battle, all those places that we go for our trout fishing. There's always bear there, because basically what it is all the bears start migrating with the salmon. So at the beginning of the season, there's a lot around our lodge, and then at the end of the season, they migrate up, which is still close to the lodge. We still get up there and see them, but you go there, and it's just as good as Brooks Falls.
Yeah, and you're fishing for you're sight fishing to 30-inch trout laying in the river, eating the eggs behind the sockeye, and the giant what's the other fish you catch up there in the upper river?
Dolly Parton?
The dollies. Yeah, the giant dollies, too.
Well, and not only that is just seeing the fish spawning. If you just kind of watch you're actually standing there fishing and watching the mate and, the guys behind the lady there, and she's waggling the tail to bury the eggs, and there's the big guy and the little guy are fighting, to get in the position, and as you're sight fishing for a trout.
So cool. You're seeing nature that you only watch on TV literally happen right in front of you.
And then to the left of you, there's a bear, a young bear, a 2-year-old, jumping and missing every fish that he's trying to catch.
And you're standing that close to him, but he could care less that you're standing there.
Yeah. That was the thing that you guys said that I still took with a very heavy grain of salt, but it really is the truth. Like, they don't care that you're there. They're there because of the million salmon that you were talking about earlier. Right. And that really is why they're there. I mean, I can't tell you how many times we were fishing and they're there for that reason, and they do not care that you're around. Obviously, you be respectful and you don't be dumb about things, but...
And if you have a fish on the line, you give it.
If he wants it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're, but...
Because then you go catch another one.
Yeah. Right. But it's just not a thing. Like, they're there for the salmon.
Right.
Yeah.
And... go ahead.
Howard in Santa Maria has a question. How does the plane handle those of us that are over 6 feet tall and heavy?
Okay, well, tell them my size.
Yeah. Yeah. Bob, you're a big guy.
I'm a big guy.
Yeah, how tall are you?
6'4" and 250 pounds.
Yeah, so
we
there you go.
We handle it very well.
It's an easy game up there.
And it's got a big door in the back to get you in and out.
Yes.
No problem.
Yeah.
You called your plane, shows ago that, you said this is the F-150 of Alaska.
Yeah, it's 350.
It really is.
350. Actually, almost a 450. So you can pack it as much as a 450. You can stick in the back, and it will fly it out.
It is a beautiful plane.
That's awesome. One of the safest planes in the sky.
Yep. It's the workhorse of Alaska.
Yeah, for sure.
That's cool. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including checking in with the catch report. We're going to find out what's biting up there. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWormerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
Hello, anglers. This is Tim with Friends of Rollo, and we are kicking off the new year with another great promotion. Bill Batson and his team have once again donated 6 amazing custom rods that you could be fishing with this season. These rods are all one of a kind and built with rain shadow rod blanks and Alps rod components. Captain Rollo's will be giving away these beautiful works of art in the Batson booth at the PCS show on March 10th. Entering the drawing is easy. When you buy 5 $10 Rollo Grand Raffle tickets, you will get 1 entry into the Batson Custom Rod Drawing. To purchase tickets, please email win@rollokids.org or call Tim at 951-264-7382. Our thanks go out to Batson Enterprises for once again making this promotion possible. Thank you to everyone for your support of the Rollo program, and good luck.
As the inventor and world leader in fluorocarbon, Seagar has you covered with 4-liter choices to help you catch more fish. Gold Label is Seagar's thinnest and strongest leader. Fluoro Premier has a thin diameter with high break strength and softness. Blue Label is tough as nails with incredible abrasion resistance and impact strength. And Pink Label is the choice for tough light conditions. From 2 pounds to 400 pounds, pick up a spool of Seagar at your favorite tackle dealer or visit Seagar.com.
There are certain places on this earth that are very special, and I am blessed to have a fishing lodge in one of them. Hi, this is Valerie Hopebridge from Queen Charlotte Safaris in Sandspit, Haida, British Columbia, Canada. We are a boutique lodge embarking from the Sandspit Harbor, offering a truly unique fishing adventure. From our fully enclosed cabin boats, untouched, unspoiled fishing grounds, stunning scenery, to the delicious meals, personalized service received throughout your entire trip, we strive to make your adventure an experience that encompasses world-class fishing for Chinook salmon, halibut, lingcod, and so much more. Our goal is to connect you to nature through fishing, and that's just what we do at Queen Charlotte Safaris. You will be greeted warmly and welcomed at our well-appointed lodge. We'll receive you as friends and send you off as part of the Queen Charlotte Safaris family for many years to come. You will come for the fishing. You will come back for the memories. Give us a call at 1-877-815-2892 or check us out on Instagram, Facebook, or on our website, qcsafaris.com.
In San Diego, the future belongs to everyone. So Ford engineered the truck of the future for everyone, the Ford F-150, available with a Pro Power onboard generator. What a great addition for anglers. There's also a variety of cab configurations for whatever you need to haul. The truck of the future isn't created for just a few. It's created for us who love the ocean and the outdoor life. Ford F-150. Test drive one at your local San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. Spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.